If you treat your birthday like just another Tuesday, your brain isn't broken. You're not emotionally dead. And you're definitely not too mature for celebration. Your brain is protecting you from something far more painful than getting older. Today I'm going to show you the 4 psychological reasons why some of the most emotionally intelligent people you know have stopped celebrating themselves. And by the end, you'll understand exactly how this happened to you. Think about this for a second. When you were 7, you probably started counting down to your birthday a whole month in advance. You told everyone, your teacher, the kid on the bus, the cashier at the grocery store. Now think about your last birthday. Did you even mention it? Or did you hope nobody would notice? Somewhere between childhood and now, something changed. Not dramatically, not all at once, but quietly. And most people never understand why. Here are the 4 reasons. Reason number 1, your brain learned that expecting good things on your birthday leads to pain. Every single second of your life, your brain is making predictions. What will happen next, how people will react, what you'll feel. When reality matches the prediction, your brain stays calm. But when reality doesn't match the prediction, your brain freaks out. Neuroscientists call this a prediction error, and it creates one of the strongest emotional responses you can experience. As a kid, your brain learns a pattern. Birthday equals celebration. Birthday equals attention. Birthday equals people showing up for me. Your brain predicts this, it expects this. But what happens when that prediction fails? You're 8 and only 2 kids show up to your party. You're 12 and your parents forget to say happy birthday until late at night. You're 16 and your best friend bails because they got invited somewhere better. Your brain doesn't just feel sad. It experiences a negative prediction error. And that error gets stored, filed away, remembered. If it happens enough times, your brain learns something dangerous. Expecting good things on your birthday leads to pain. So your brain makes a protective decision. Don't predict celebration. Don't expect anything. If you don't expect it, you can't be hurt. And just like that, you become someone who doesn't really do birthdays. But you're not indifferent. You're defended. A guy I know stopped celebrating his birthday at 11. His parents threw him a huge surprise party, invited his whole class, rented a bounce house. Only 3 kids showed up. By 4 p.m., he was sitting alone, watching it deflate, learning for the first time that wanting something doesn't mean you'll get it. He hasn't celebrated since. Not because he's mature, because his brain taught him that hope is dangerous. This is learned emotional self-sufficiency. If you don't need celebration, you can't be hurt by its absence. And that lesson spreads. Don't need recognition at work. Don't need compliments from your partner. Don't need friends to remember important things. Need nothing. Expect nothing. Get hurt by nothing. It's brilliant survival psychology. And it slowly kills your ability to receive love. Reason number 2. Birthdays require you to express a need, and your attachment style won't allow it. Now we need to talk about attachment theory. People with avoidant attachment learned early that expressing needs leads to disappointment or rejection. So they became hyper-independent. They learned not to need anyone. And guess what day specifically requires you to express a need? Your birthday. A birthday is basically saying, I would like to be celebrated. I would like to matter to you. I would like you to show up for me. For someone avoidant, that's threatening. What if you express that need and nobody shows up? What if you admit you want to matter and people prove you don't? So you reject the whole concept. I don't celebrate birthdays. It becomes armor. You can't be disappointed if you never wanted it. But there's a cost. When you train yourself not to want celebration, you train yourself not to receive love easily. The person who says, "Don't get me anything," is often the same person who can accept a compliment, who feels uncomfortable when someone does something kind, who can't receive without instantly reciprocating. This is the hidden cost of birthday indifference. You think you're protecting yourself from disappointment, but what you're actually doing is building a wall between you and connection. Because here's the truth. Receiving is vulnerable. Letting someone celebrate you means admitting you matter, admitting you have needs, admitting you want to be seen. And for someone who learned early that being seen leads to pain, that's terrifying. So you opt out. You say it's just another day. You make jokes about getting old. You deflect. But underneath, there's a part of you that wishes someone would insist, that wishes someone would celebrate you anyway. that wishes you didn't have to protect yourself like this. The problem is, the more you push celebration away, the more people learn not to offer it, and the cycle continues. Reason number 3. Your brain stopped releasing the chemical that makes you excited. Let me explain how this works. Dopamine isn't the pleasure chemical, it's the anticipation chemical. Your brain releases dopamine when it expects a reward. This is why the week before your childhood birthday felt electric. Your brain was flooding you with dopamine because it predicted something good was coming. But when birthdays become associated with disappointment, your brain stops anticipating them. It stops releasing dopamine. This is why people who don't care about their birthday feel nothing as the day approaches. Not because they're numb, because the anticipatory dopamine never fires. Without anticipation, the day itself feels flat. Even good things don't land, which confirms the belief that birthdays don't matter. So the cycle continues. You're not choosing to feel nothing. Your brain was trained to feel nothing. And breaking that cycle takes more than deciding to care again. Here's what happens neurologically. Your brain creates associations through repeated experience. Birthday plus disappointment equals pain. That association gets stronger every time it's reinforced. Eventually, just thinking about your birthday triggers a subtle stress response. Not excitement, not joy, just a low-level anxiety that something will go wrong. So your brain does what it does best. It protects you by shutting down the anticipation entirely. No anticipation means no dopamine. No dopamine means no excitement. No excitement means the day passes without emotional significance. And you tell yourself you're fine with it. But your brain didn't make you fine with it. Your brain made you defend it against it. There's a difference. Reason number 4. You're avoiding the mirror. Birthdays confront you with time. Another year passed. Another year closer to the end. Another year to evaluate. For many people, treating their birthday like a normal day is actually avoiding that mirror. Psychologists call this temporal landmark avoidance. Birthdays force reflection. And reflection can be painful. Did I accomplish what I wanted this year? Am I where I thought I'd be? Am I becoming who I want to become? These are hard questions. And if the answers hurt, your brain finds a way to avoid asking them. So you skip the landmark. You treat it like any other day. You don't pause, you don't reflect, you just keep moving. But skipping the landmark doesn't stop time from moving. It just means you're moving through time without checking in. Years blur together. And eventually you wake up not knowing how you got here. Because here's what happens when you avoid temporal landmarks. You lose track of your own life. You stop setting intentions. You stop evaluating progress. You stop course correcting. You just drift. And 5 years later, 10 years later, you look back and realize you've been on autopilot. Birthdays are uncomfortable because they force you to stop and look, to see how much time has passed, to confront what you've done with it. And if you're not proud of the answer, avoidance feels easier than honesty. But avoidance doesn't make time stop. It just makes you unconscious of how you're spending it. Now here's what I want you to understand. If you treat your birthday like a normal day, there's probably a part of you that grieves that, quietly. There's a part of you that remembers what it felt like to be excited, to wake up with that electric buzz in your chest, to feel like today was special just because you existed. And somewhere along the way, you lost that feeling. Not because you outgrew it, but because protecting yourself felt more important than feeling it. Your brain made a trade. Safety for joy, defense for celebration, control for connection. And for a while, that trade felt worth it. Because disappointment hurts more than numbness. But here's the cost nobody talks about. When you stop celebrating yourself, you teach other people not to celebrate you either. When you say it's just another day, people believe you. When you deflect compliments and reject gestures and insist you don't need anything, people stop offering. Not because they don't care, but because you trained them that caring makes you uncomfortable. And the tragic part is, you don't even realize you're doing it. You think you're being low maintenance, easygoing, mature. But what you're actually doing is starving yourself of the very thing you need most. To be seen, to be celebrated, to matter. Because here's the truth. You do not stop needing those things just because you stop asking for them. You just get better at pretending you don't. So if this is you, I want you to know something. You're not broken. You're not cold. You're not ungrateful. You're defended. And defense made sense when you needed it. But maybe, just maybe, you don't need it anymore. Maybe this year, you let someone celebrate you. Maybe you admit you want it. Maybe you stop protecting yourself from joy. Because the people who love you, they want to show up for you. But first, you have to let them.